going on, you bunch of heathens? Today, we are going to be checking out another older Fat Electrician video. This one called Anti-Tanks, Dogs, and Explosive Rats. I have heard a little bit about this kind of things because I know the Soviets used dogs for anti-tank operations. The only issue is it was complete failure, so I kind of can't wait to see where he goes with this one. This one should be pretty fucking fun. So let's jump in.
We've already talked about America's pigeon-guided bomb from World War II.
Yep, I do know
and
about
America's
this. That's pretty fucking
from
cool.
World War II. So today we're just
also a
going to
badass fucking
and discuss
thing.
the 3 remaining animal weapons from World War II and World War II alone. Because if we went in detail on every animal weapon throughout the course of human history, we would be here literally all day long. Because
yeah, I do know that. If there's a lot of animal weapons throughout history, like fuck, I'm pretty sure at one point, I don't know who it was, but they used what's it called? Rats to spread fucking illnesses and shit in cities that they were sieging and shit. So I do know that's a thing.
You that people have been trying to kill other people with animals and fire for as long as people have been a thing. I mean, just to gloss over a couple, back in the day, the standard operating procedure for combating war elephants was to take a bunch of pigs, light them on fire, and release them onto the battlefield to simultaneously scare the fuck out of Dumbo and cook dinner at the same time, which honestly is just god-tier level multitasking.
That's actually fucking insane.
And then in like 900 AD, you had Olga of Kiev burning down an entire city with flaming pigeons, subsequently killing like 5,000 people. And there was no PETA back then, so she later on became a saint, which is like the most gangster kill streak of all time. Look, I'm not saying it's right, but to achieve both of those things in one...
How the fuck do you go from burning down a city, killing so many innocents, to just be like, I'm a saint now. Get on my fucking level. Like, that's fucking insane to me.
One lifetime is impressive. And then in the 1200s, you had Genghis Khan, who did pretty much the exact same thing, except he used cats instead. And then here's a German military manual from the 1500s. It clearly depicts how to do both of these strategies. I guess the point I'm trying to get at is people have literally been trying to light each other on fire using animals
we like setting each
for
other
all
on
of
fire.
Human history, and it gets progressively worse and more weird the longer time goes on, until it would eventually peak during the Cold War when Britain made a chicken-powered nuclear landmine. But all of that's a story for a different time. All right, kicking off our animal-based weapons of World.
It's so weird that this was a year ago, over a year ago now, almost 2 years ago, and he only more or less recently started really talked about it. I think the fucking chicken-powered nuclear weapon. That's pretty fucking interesting.
World War II list in absolutely no particular order that somebody is still going to tell me I'm wrong about somehow. We have the United States cat bomb, except instead of using pigeons that were trained for...
Wait. Is this before he started doing the whole slapping the helmet on internet warrior thing? Oh, come on, tracking. There we go. This must be before he started doing that.
For 6 months to peck at the shape of a ship. The OSS, or Office of Strategic Services, which was basically like the CIA back then, got together. They said training pigeons for 6 months takes too long. We're just going to try throwing a cat in there to see what happens. And their logic was cats always land on their feet and cats hate water. So if we stick one inside of a bomb, yeet it out the back of a plane, and all it can see is a giant ship and the ocean, it will instinctively drive the bomb into the ship because it doesn't want to land in the water and get wet. Now, to be fair, that makes sense if you don't think about it. So the government's like...
that's what I was about to say.
Let's give it a shot. What do we have to lose? It's just taxpayer money and stray cats. Who gives a fuck? So that's exactly what they did, and not only did it failed quicker than anybody could have possibly imagined. Because as it turns out, not only did cats not instinctively know how to drive a 500-pound bomb, but they also lose consciousness when free falling. So the U.S. government just drowned a bunch of cats. So yeah, it's definitely
Wow.
warheads on foreheads, not felines on foreheads. Write that down. Moving on. Coming in at number 2, we have the Soviet Union's anti-tank dogs. It's pretty straightforward and shitty
I know
concept.
this one.
Basically, the Soviets would train a bunch of dogs that there were treats underneath tanks. They would then send the dogs to the front line, put a bomb vest on them with a large lever on the back, in the hopes that the dogs would run, dive underneath German tanks looking for treats. That would throw the lever back, which would set off the bomb vest, blowing up the dog, and hopefully blowing up the German tank. Now, I think we can all agree that that's a really shitty thing to do to the goodest comrade.
It is.
However, there is a silver
But
lining
it's the fucking
because
Soviets.
karma would hit back really hard on this one. You see, as it turns out, the Soviets were just training with whatever they had available, and they didn't have very many German tanks laying around, so they were training the dogs using Soviet tanks. What most people don't realize is Soviet tanks ran on diesel, and German tanks ran on gasoline. Not a huge difference in appearance to a human, but to a dog who uses its sense of smell, it's
big,
an enormous
very
difference.
big, like
so big, in fact, that the dogs
like difference for humans, like about come on, tracking, like this much. Dogs, yeah, off my screen, like huge fucking difference for them. Huge fucking difference.
pretty much exclusively ran and dove underneath Soviet tanks, blowing up their own comrades. Karma's a bitch. And finishing off our list, we have Britain's exploding rat.
What the fuck is that movie from? What's that
Basically,
movie?
they were going to take a bunch of dead rats, scoop out their insides, and fill them full of plastic explosives. They would then use a spy network to smuggle in these rats to important strategic locations and just kind of like sprinkle them around near-ish the boiler room in hopes that the boiler room technician would find a dead rat, say, huh, and then throw it into the fire for the boiler, blowing it up, causing a bunch of mayhem. And I know what you're thinking.
That
Why
seems...
on earth would you use a dead rat? Why not just use a fake piece of coal full...
Okay, first off, good fucking... That is a good fucking point. Oh, come on, tracking. That is a good point. Also, though, seems like a bit of a fucking war crime. But if you're on the winning side, you didn't do any war crimes.
Full of explosives,
so we're
like
good
the
there.
Americans did in the Civil War. That makes way more sense. That's exactly
Does
what I
make more
thought.
sense.
But then it hit me. And hear me out when I say this. Maybe,
oh, I love it.
Just maybe,
I love
it's
it.
more
It's a tinfoil
likely
hat.
that they would throw a rat into the fire. And here's why. You see, the bubonic plague, also known as the Black Death, literally killed off like half of Europe. And the bubonic plague was spread from fleas that were living on rats, meaning that it stands to reason that a significant portion, if not all of the people on the European continent during World War II had a genetic predisposition to seeing a dead rat and being like, cast it into the fire! Now, despite the fact that this was actually
a bit of a stretch, but okay.
Out the way they planned, because Germany actually intercepted the first batch of exploding rats they ever made, at which point Britain decided to cut their losses on the entire idea because the Germans knew what they were up to. However, the Germans didn't know that, so they spent the rest of World War II inspecting every dead rat they found to see if it was an explosive rat or not. And the best way to do that was to look
hilarious.
at the rat's ass because it had a fuse sticking out of it. And funnily enough, this is exactly where the phrase, I don't give a rat's ass came from, because after a bunch of German boiler technicians spent months or years looking at dead rats' balloon knots and never finding a fuse ever, they said, fuck it, I'm done looking at rat buttholes, and they just started throwing the rats in the fire without checking, hence the term, I don't give a rat's ass. To be completely honest, did I just make that shit up? Yeah. Is it true? Fucking maybe, but I doubt it. However,
yeah, no, I doubt it, but that's that is a great fucking...
That is great, though. The British do consider this entire mission an enormous success just due to the sheer amount of man hours that Germany wasted looking for explosive rats that never actually existed, so, you know, task failed successfully, I guess.
Yeah, I can see that. In conclusion,
nothing quite stokes the fire of human creativity like trying to kill a motherfucker that you don't like. And creativity is absolutely imperative because, well, you know, it's never...
That embodies the entirety of human history. What pushes innovation forward? It's the fact that we don't fucking like each other and we want to fucking kill each other. That embodies the human history to a T.
Never a war crime the first time. And on that note, thank you for watching. Best way to support the channel is go buy some merch at thefatelectrician.com. Quack bang, out.
God, I love that fucking... I love his outro song. His outro song is fucking awesome. And yeah, I didn't know about pretty much any of those except for the fucking dogs and the pigeon. Huh. That was really fucking cool. I like that one. I do kind of wish he would do some more of the, like, I don't get me wrong, I love his super long videos. Like this one, Billy Wall, that was a great fucking video. I do kind of miss these these shorter ones where he's just like, hey, here's an interesting weapon from history. Here's the development idea behind it and this, and you know, how it was used and whatnot. I do kind of miss these shorter videos where it's just like, hey, interesting fact, you know? Make sure you check out the Fat Electrician. Go give him some love. This video is going to be linked down below. Like and subscribe if you want to see more of me. And until next time, take care of yourselves. See ya.